Hello guys, Inoculator here, and guess what? We've got a brand new patch. Along with this one, we have a full reset and the largest chunk of content we've seen for the last couple of months. So what we're going to do in this video is get stuck into this, talk through everything that's new, play a couple of missions maybe, and really get stuck into showing you guys what's coming up with this. So starting off on the character screen, what we're going to do is we're going to go through making a new character, because this is more relevant now than ever. When you now pick a character, you are now actually picking a subclass and not just the actual gear. I'll explain more in just a moment. I'll be going for a sniper, and I think I will be calling her Meow. Let's go in and crack on with Meow, see how she's doing. Load up into the game. So what you'll notice straight away with the game is that there have been a few graphical updates included with this. If we bring up the character screen, you'll notice that there have certainly been some improvements to the models, as well as some overall texture changes throughout the game, which should be subtly noticeable while we play through this video series. Now, moving on, you'll also notice the rather hideous yellow has been moved to a more sort of 70s beige yellow. So now crappy items look as crappy as they should do, which is a very nice touch. So what we'll be doing first is just popping to the shop and seeing if we can get some new gear. You'll see the stuff I've got at the beginning is pretty basic, but just before we do that, let's just have a little look at the skill tree. Holy freaking cow, what's this? Guys, the skill tree has been completely revamped for the Assassin and for the Crusader. That's right, each one has their own variant of the same skills, and your subclass, as I mentioned earlier, now determines which skill trees you get access to first. Fear not if you chose one and you want a skill tree that you don't currently have access to. Every assassin will eventually get the same skill trees, but if you chose a certain, let's say a melee assassin, you will get access to the close combat trees before the other two subclasses. So this is a nice way just to make sure every player's getting a little bit more of a unique experience when playing up. Let's look into some of these trees and see what they've got. So some of them will be familiar to you. Some of these, like the ranged combat tree, is very, very similar to something we had before. I won't be doing a full skill overview in this video. You'll see what we have is the similar sort of alpha, beta, gammas that we had before. Obviously we have in the middle the key one that you'll probably want to unlock. Some of them are better than others obviously, and you start on the outside and you work your way into the middle, gathering up all the goodies as you go. You can see here on the left all of the different skill trees. Again, I'm going to go through this another time, but a really big one for me is that they've now included movement, which, as many have complained rather, that the movement is a bit slow within the game, and as promised they've said that they will be introducing ways in which you can increase your movement speed aside from just leveling up the attribute points, and this is it. What you have is many points you can invest into moving faster, associating it with cooldown lengths, etc., and other such glorious things, and moving quicker after taking damage, etc. This is all rather exciting and a lovely tree to see, so I'm super happy that they've included this. I now have to say the subclass system is truly a subclass system, so we no longer have to criticize them for that. Let's see how many dollars we have to spend. We have 1,000, so what can we buy? We can't buy that, we can't buy that. We can buy one of these. That's not particularly exciting. Let's see if we can get anything else here. Not a lot. Let's just pick up something with a little bit of health regeneration on it. A little bit of health will do. There we go. So that is just to make this first mission a little bit easier, because, well, it is normally a little bit tough. Crafting has not seen a dramatic overhaul. It's pretty similar. If we go over to the tech tree, however, you will notice, yes, that's right, they haven't unlocked any more just yet by the looks of it. We'll have to wait and see. Not available in this version for quite a few of these, but again, the tech tree is going to be expanded later down the line. What you'll also notice as well, if we wander back to the shop just before we jump into a mission, is we have a nice portrait here for our rogue trader. Likewise with the Inoculator man, I believe he also gets... No, he doesn't. I made that up. Let's go into the star map and see what else we see. So what we have are a few more map types and map variants. I'm going to do a little bit of shopping now for you to try and find something a little bit more exciting to see. Mostly it's a change to lighting variants for the current map tile sets. There's no dramatic overhauls of current map types. The lighting changes, boy do they look nice. What we'll do is we'll load one up in a second and see what we can find. You'll also notice is there are a couple of new planets which are the bases of the tier system within the 3rd and 4th sector. Right now they are just a planet you can fly to. You can't actually do anything there, but it's something to be aware of, as that is where we think the end game, or rather end sector content, is going to be sort of put into place. So what we'll do is we'll load up here and we'll see what we've got for this mission. We'll have to look at the preview and see what we actually get access to for this one, see if it's a mission worth playing. The only one I really don't want is a silly walkway. That looks good to me, some nice looking corridors. Let's load on into this. And while we're loading, I'll talk through what else is new. So obviously we have the new map lighting types. For the outdoor types, we have new weather types. So there's rain and other such things included. The loot window is rather nice. We'll talk through that in a while. We have some new enchants as well for the weapons. There is a little bit more variety now. I think we're up to something like 50. So straight away you can see there's been a bit of a graphical overhaul here. The texture outlines, it looks like anti-aliasing has finally been put to a working point in the game. And you can see the lovely lighting effects here as we use our torch. And whoever said the torch is pointless, well, fantastic. There are some darker places certainly within the game, but let's crack on with this mission and play a little bit through. So let's see what we got here. Oh, we got a cannon right in our face. That's fine. Don't walk out into the open without looking left and right first. You can learn a lot from road traffic commercials. Right, so let's see what we got here. A bunch of standard enemies, and whoever's saying the game's too difficult, well, everything's dying in one hit, mission 1. And yes, that's right, they did say they've invested a bit of time into balancing. That being said, I'm probably going to die now I've said that the game's a little bit on the easy side, but we'll have to wait and see. Looks like this mission's going to take a while. You can tell already from the density of enemies on the map that this is not something you're just going to be able to walk into and, well, just go rampaging at level 1, because I bet here we see one of the new skill abilities coming out. Smack the floor, bang. Didn't kill one of his friends. Unfortunate. Right. Let's spawn a couple of allies, see if they're doing anything. It's good that they're not shooting from their breasts anymore. That was unfortunate. Right. It also looks like we have a stun mine here. Right, so I think what we'll do is we'll try and take down the standard bearer first. He does have a heal, and I cannot dodge. I cannot dodge. So there's a fun little bug to start off with. Just mashing the button, checking if the hotkey had changed. Yep, the hotkey has been reset, so I won't be dodging in this map. Gonna have to spawn some allies and try and stay alive while everything rushes me in the base. We have a few inoculator charges, so I may well live through this. Fire, fire, fire. Please stay alive. Right. What's the hotkey now for the inoculator? There isn't one assigned. That's fantastic. I'm going to have to click on it. Okay. Spawn some dudes. Please chase them and not me. I'm rather busy trying to kill a standard bearer right now. Okay, don't hit me, miss me with that green shit, boy. I do not have time for this right now. Right, cracking on with the mission. Unfortunately, we do have the mandatory kill everything option, which is without a doubt my least favourite. And normally most time consuming for missions as well. But hey, it could be worse. It could be worse. So they have mentioned some notable balance changes. We'll have to wait and see what they actually entail. So far though, I mean, that first room was a little bit tough. If I could dodge, I probably wouldn't have died. That sounds like a noob excuse if ever I've heard one. But not seeming too difficult at the moment. Now, that's not to say the same can be said for melee. We'll just have to wait and see how that one pans out. Melee has always been a little bit on the tough side, and I imagine it's still the case. because there's not been any direct buffs to the melee system since the last patch. But hey, things are looking alright. Let's spawn a couple of these. You're going to shoot my buddies, please? Thank you. Let me just walk on through. Excuse me. Hello. Thank you. Oh, okay. Shooting at 90 degrees still. That's a good bug. I do like that one. I'll just say it ricocheted off of something. There's another one. Fantastic. Fantastic. I mean, first day of a bug release, guys. You will... First day of a bug release. That's what it is. The official 4th milestone bug release by Inquisitor Martyr. No, the first day of a patch, there's always a couple of little things that look like they were working during the testing phase, and then they release it and realise, it's now no longer working. What tends to happen is you release the last few files, add them in, and sort of it just should all work, and then realise, oh no, it's not. And at that point, he realised he fucked up. Right, let's move back now. We've spawned the whole of frickin' Africa. Right, let's get a little bit of distance, resort back to our one strategy of kiting, which will be a topic in a future video once more, as kiting is still well, the only way to really play this game. Walk backwards, shoot, walk backwards, shoot. Now, I do love the game. I do love the game. I have a lot of fun on it, but I do need some enemies that either can't be kited or have to... let's say have to be dealt with in another way other than gaining distance between yourself. You can do it lots of ways. You can make enemies reset at a smaller range and regain their health, so they don't have as much of an aggro range and you have to go into the room with them. You can increase their speed so they chase you. That's a very viable option, and one that most ARPGs will do. There'll always be the token sort of fast enemy that you just cannot run away from. You have to kill it before it touches you or you die. Always nice to have. Oh, nearly maybe jumped there. Okay, bye. Oh, right, they have a death animation when... How nice. So when your hologram goes, it dies. That's a bit sad. Feels bad to be a hologram today. Right, let's move on. So we've got to clear all of these rooms. We'll clear the two on the side first. You'll notice I have 17 Inoculator usages, so that's clearly taken a fairly big buff. Seems to be a fair swing the other way. I mean, that's a lot of uses, probably more than anyone will ever need. But that does open it up for actually using some of the more advanced inoculators that do more exciting things, because some of those, hey, they're about 7 charges per use. Let's see how much health it gives me back here. Okay. So we've got a Havoc here. We'll see if they're still OP broken and if I feel the need to uninstall the game, because my experience is so bad. Look at the lighting in here. Where's my torch gone? Just when you need a torch. Maybe the batteries have run out. Maybe. Right. Or maybe it turns on in certain sectors, or perhaps I've mashed the hotkey for it. Not that I think there is one. Okay. So we're still alive so far. And the standard bearers, you can see the regeneration's clearly taken a tweak here. So anyone that had previously said the regeneration is broken in the game and enemies are on, here we go again. Oh my god. So someone needs to go to Specsavers. I've triggered every servo skull on this map though thus far. If anyone's not been playing the game for a while, a servo skull is basically a tripwire, and Muppets like me tend to just walk through them without checking because someone put a chest the other side of the room and I feel like I has to get that loot. So we get a couple of doohickeys there. It's always worth getting crafting materials because the crafting stuff in this game is very good. You can craft yourself green stuff right from the off once you've got enough materials. Loving this lighting setting now. I'm loving the look. I made a previous video saying, where is Grimdark? Yeah, everything's a sort of a greeny grey colour, but I'm okay with that. The game has its colour scheme, which is okay. And I quite like the palette. It's not stylised like, I'm going to always reference Diablo 3 because I've been playing it a lot, but it's not clear sort of bold, vibrant colours like Diablo. That's fine. I wouldn't want it to be. But I think it's looking good. That yellow's not as yellow as it used to be. Believe you me, I notice these incredibly small things. They've definitely brought the shaders down a little bit and made everything look a little bit more... Oh, it's steady on. A little bit more in line. Now, moving on. Let's continue to shoot this guy. Right. Now, one feature you'll notice that was in the patch notes was seamless loading, and what was going to happen is while you were on a sort of subsector screen, it would be loading the next screen already, when you're getting to the end of a mission, it would already load the star map, so you can go back basically instantly. It will remove the loading screen, the static loading screen. However, it wasn't working, and it's not ready yet. So they took it out, and it will be coming back at a later date. So those of you that don't like all of these clicking on a screen and not jumping straight into a mission, yeah, that is frustrating. That's what seamless loading's for. It's while you're doing something, it's loading the next thing. It just sort of makes sense. It's logical, but hey, in a game that really doesn't do that well with frames, it's probably fairly difficult to implement. I don't know if it's that made it broke, but who knows. It'll be back with us shortly, I'm sure. So let's have a little see. Okay. And there are a couple of new weapons as well. The assassin's got, I believe, a null stick. Obviously on a new character I'm not going to be able to have access to any of the new stuff, but basically you've got two new two-handers for the assassin, which is nice. Always nice to have more weapons. The bad thing about a purge is look how much I've killed and I've only done that. However, I have cleared a good chunk of it. Let's be fair, I've cleared at least half the map. There must be a lot of nurglings here because apparently I've still got a long way to go. Yeah, we're just going to be seeing lots of nurglings coming up now. That's there, but I'm betting that that's a trap. And I've got loads of inoculators, so I'm not falling for it this time, guys. I'm going to have a little look. Is this going to turn into a gas trap? Once bitten, twice shy. Or once bitten, twice shy. 3, you turn into mid-rack. Okay, no trap. I'm happy with that. Right. Let's have a little look-see. Now, this is definitely a gas trap. This has got to be. No, I'm not even going for that. No, I'm not even falling for it. No, I am. Definitely falling for that. I think I heard a door shut. There's the smell of gas. That was a personal bit of feedback from me. Please include sounds because you can't see it's gas until it's choking you to death. And in every good James Bond film, you hear the classic "I've left the gas on" noise. So glad they implemented it. I'm sure they would have anyway. But it's always nice when you're a player and you ask for something and then you see it in a game. Even if they were probably making it anyway, still makes you feel a little bit special. Right, let's move on. Crack on through. So I hope everyone doesn't mind the new character wipe. It's sort of necessary, I think, because they really need to test the new balance changes, and to do that everyone needs to start again. However, something really worth keeping in mind, guys, is that there is going to be tutorials for this game. There will be tutorial chapters and planets, so the starting power level will be a little bit on the difficult side, simply because you're already going to have played some content before you get there. So don't be surprised if it's a little bit on the tricky side, and you have to... Oof, God, I'd love a hotkey for that. Right, let's kill all these guys on the outside first. A little bit of combat strategy here. Take out all the ranged. Oh my god, there's quite a few of them. Okay, we'll go back to kiting strategy. Okay, I think we can deal with this. Suppression's getting a little bit low, but we can deal with that. That's fine. Got a little bit of cover. We'll just try and thin them out a little bit, and now we'll just try and stay alive. Okay, so camera buttons are there. That's lovely. Gonna need to heal myself. Jumping cover, that regens your health faster. That's not the inoculator. Right, the holograms are actually doing their job. They are doing their job. Right, let's see. If I put a mine down here, did that do anything? It looked like it did something. Put a mine down there. What's that going to do? If I press it again? No. Okay. Mines are still a mystery to me. Not entirely sure what's happening with mines yet. It'll become clear eventually, I'm sure. Right, reload our weapon. Let's see what else we got. Do we have anything that's anti-armor? So we have a sniper and we have an autogun. Great. Everything you could possibly ask for to kill a dreadnought. So that's not particularly effective. Let's have a try here. Not so much on the piercing side for this weapon. The aim shot does have some armor bypass, as you can see. The one shot as well that applies a dot does do a little bit. So the weapon's basically your anti-tank one of the two. Looked like a little ricochet off of him there, but I think that's probably a bug. Let's not tell anyone. And last one, there we go. So not too bad. I think the death animation sound like they're currently missing. They'll probably get stuck back in a couple of days. Right, crack on through. Let's see what we got cooking in these little corridors. It is a purge. You've got to clear the whole damn thing. One room left, and apparently that's sort of 2/3 of the map. Must be a heavy, heavy room. Looking forward to it. So let's open up the next chest, see what we got cooking. So what do we got in here? You can get items out of these, always nice to get, but crafting materials, hay, is absolutely fine by me. Chandeliers, opacity working, always nice to see. Always nice to see. I think that's a possibly worthy of putting in the patch notes. I've been moaning about those for a long time. Chandeliers without opacity, God, bane of my life. Right, let's get some Vembots out. That's cool, you can tank a turret for me. Vembots have feelings too. Okay, that one was being thrown all around the room. Poor thing. She was so young. Right, let's crack on, let's crack on. Another 2 of these dudes. Let's keep our health topped up. Right, as you can see, 2 Havocs, not really much of a problem. I don't know what else to say there. If anyone's still having issues, it's got to be a playstyle issue, because that was a pretty easy takedown. Can't really say that they're overpowered in any way at the moment. I'm level 1 fresh character playing against a level 1 mission, so things are sort of, everyone should be in the same sort of boat. Okay, now we've pulled just about everywhere. Let's thin them out a little bit. This is a little bit of a handful. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. He's shooting at my buddies. The Vembots really do their job. Okay, that's going to be me dead. Nearly. Ooh. And you can take cover on the corners here. This is also a new feature. You can take cover in doorways. Very, very nice to see. It didn't make... What doesn't make sense is places like here. Ah, they've changed it, thank God. So this is actually indestructible cover, but it means you can move up a corridor in an almost military-like fashion and basically pretend you're in Rainbow Six 40k. I like that. I like that a lot. Right, okay, so we've cleared that. Now, it's not really looking that safe to proceed, but hey, we've got an AoE ability. That's all very nice. Can you blow these guys up? Can you blow them up, please? Okay, lovely job. Still missing some sounds. I think quite a few of the sounds sound like they're currently missing, but, you know, we can forgive things like that on day one. This is... we know the devs have been working hard at this for the last few weeks. They've been... I've been having my little chats with them every couple of days, seeing what they're up to, and they've been sweating, trying to get this out and ready. So, guys, if you're looking at that roadmap, they are sticking to their milestones. I mean, everything that's scheduled for each month, it is coming. So, you know, if you want to know what's coming up next, check on that milestone. Looks like we have to activate this trap because we're missing a few enemies here. So, let's have a little look. Double check on the map, see if there's anywhere I've missed. Oh, please don't tell me there's one room back there. Please don't tell me there's one room back there that I missed. Oh, my word. That is a bit embarrassing. So, I guess we can have a little bit of story time with Hydra, seeing as we're going to be going for a rather long walk now. I can't be bothered to get that chest. So let's see if there's anything else on the patch notes while we traverse back through this map. Obviously I could talk about how lovely the scenery is, but you've already seen it already. So in summary, we have the new tier system, we have the new planetary sector... planets, basically. You can go there, you can look at them, but they don't do anything yet. They are going to be the end game, and that's where we'll be gathering relic weapons and doing special missions. But again, we don't entirely know what's entailed just yet. We have the new subclass system as well, a very big change for the game. We've got all of these wonderful new skill trees, and now you have to actually unlock them as you go. I don't know if I really emphasize that enough, but while we're on the subject, the same applies to gear. Different subclasses unlock gear at different levels, so if I get something like a plasma cannon, I may not be able to use that until level 8 or 9. So a very interesting direction for them to go. I think that is where some of the progression comes into the game. A little bit of an incentive as to why do you want to get to the next area. Well, there'll probably be perks, there'll be skills, there'll be skill trees that you think, oh man, if I get to this, then I get access to that, and things are going to sort of, there's going to be some incentive to push yourself along the game. So, are you going to die? There you go. Right, don't need to gather anything here. Lovely looking green room. Love the lighting. Lovely. Let's load this up. Now we get to see the loot screen, assuming my game doesn't crash. So, ta-da! Pretty cool, eh? It's basically just a mission summary. It tells you how long you took, 18 minutes, apologies about that. And enemies killed, quite a hell of a lot. And there is the loot I got up along the top. So I get to hover over here and see what I've gathered from the mission. So a little bit, not a bad feature. You click in the middle when you're done here. You can see I've got a little bit of fate from that as well. Some experience shows me how close I am to the next level. And these are my sort of mission rewards. So I got some grand rewards for completing the mission. I got one of these, and one of these. Or some of those. Not a bad system. I think it's a big improvement on what they had. I think the audio is a little bit lackluster. When you get a legendary in Diablo 3, I'm going to go on about Diablo 3 again, you get a lovely sound when you get that. Ooh, and here we go. This is my sort of individual character progression. You can see, because I've completed a mission, I've unlocked access to a plasma pistol. Ooh, rather interesting, as I'm an assassin, so lovely jubbly. Can't use dual pistols yet as an assassin. Fingers crossed, sometime, quote-unquote, soon. Now, click on the middle of the screen again. It's not very intuitive right now, but there you go. There's my reward. I've unlocked the plasma pistol, and they give me a plasma pistol, which is always nice in a game when you gain access to something and then they give you one, so you actually get to play with it. So, click on next, and there we are back in the lobby again. We get to spend our wonderful skill points. We'll just have a quick pop into skill single DPS here, which is what I really like, the idea of killing one target quickly. Suppression damage for single target abilities, or just plus damage for single target. I really like the level here, the level of customization. They've got anything from debuffs to support skills, physical based attacks, heat based attacks. Lovely, lovely stuff. Yes, none of these change your skills, and I know what you're thinking is, oh, that's rubbish, you can't customize your playstyle. Well, guys, that is what a perk does. Obviously, I don't have access to them right now. If you want to change how your character plays, it's not done via skills, it's done via perks. The customization is still there. You just don't access it via the typical means. Guys, that is everything there is to really know about this patch. I'm pretty happy with it. It's a little chunk forward for us. It's a fair bit of new content, but realistically, there's probably not that many more hours you're going to pump into this compared to the previous version. We're still grinding up to power level 4, so it'll keep us busy for a few weeks, of course, till the next patch next month, where I believe we get the Imperial Rebels. Something to look forward to, guys. And just before I go, guys, don't you forget that the pistol and sword combo has been added, and as well as this, we didn't see them within our missions, but they have added some quests within the actual mission structure themselves, which I think is a really, really good step for this game, and I cannot wait to actually see some of these in action. Guys, enjoy playing the game, enjoy the new patch, and I'll see you next time.